Hello, my fire friends. Welcome once again to another fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman, here with the hottest in budget deck technology. I know what you're thinking right now. Infernoman, you're actually streaming twice this week? Well, that's definitely a sweet bonus for us. But honestly, it's because my schedule next week is going to be a little bit more tougher to stream on. So I figured we do have a little bit of time today. So I figured why not we just do a little fun stream with maybe a deck that I wasn't planning on doing, but I actually have a lot of fun with it currently in ranked. But what deck are we talking about? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, without further ado, let's go ahead, let's jump right into it. And let's see what we're playing today. All right, where am I at? Where am I at? Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Okay, great. So with that, we will be jumping into another awesome deck that will be playing through ranked. This actually is a deck that actually I've been playing with quite a bit that actually got me to where I currently am in the Explorer format. So we will take a small break from standard for a bit. Dead Splinit, oh, welcome again. How you doing today? Glad for you to join us. I know we didn't really announce it formally, but I'm glad you're here today. So, what we're going to be doing is we're playing a little bit of one of my favorite decks, so much so that I actually think I might actually put this together in paper. The deck that we're doing today is going to be Is It Scissors? So, we played Artifact-esque decks in quite a bit here and there over time on the channel, but this one is probably my most competitive version that I've actually played with, and this is actually going to be a deck that I think, if we actually try our hardest, we might be able to actually rank up a little bit today. I don't think we'll hit Mythic with this, but we are within range of it. Oh, Stickman Jake, welcome again. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully, again, you're having a great day wherever you're at. And again, everyone else that's joining us today, whether you are going to be here with us live today, or if you're watching this on the replay later on YouTube, on X, Twitch, wherever you're watching, be sure again to always like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck techs, live streams, and so much more. Okay, so with that, we're going to be talking, as always, of our deck first, like we normally do on these. We'll then try to play within the next hour or so as many matches as we can in best of one. We will jump to best of three to see how well the deck does, just to give it a fair balance. And as always, we'll give a little FYIs about, ways we can, maybe ways we can improve the deck, if it's good, or maybe if you want to try this on a budget version, since this is definitely a non-budget version, but you'll see why in a bit. But either way, we're going to have as much fun as we can over the next little bit of time here. So with that, let's talk about this deck overall, starting with the stats of it. So, long-time viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So, as you can see here, our Is It Scissors deck is going to be a Is It deck. I mean, that's kind of obvious. But any case, so that means it's going to be blue and red. You're looking at an average mana curve very low of 1.4. With this, we'll have 16 creatures in the deck, 6 instants, 22 artifacts, 8 enchantments, and 20 lands. But exactly what is this game plan doing? Well, we've played around with it quite a bit in a previous other budget decks, but this time again, it's going to be as competitive and serious as possible. So, Enso Artifact here is our key star of the show. This card is an enchantment aura that reads when it's attached to any artifact, it becomes a creature with a base and power and toughness of 5/5 in addition to its other types. So this is exactly our powerhouse card to push through damage through the rest of our entire game. But what artifacts are we going to be trying to enchant with this? Well, starting in the 1-drop slot, we have Ornithopter, which is an incredibly awesome card because with this on it, becomes then a 2/2, becomes a 5/5 flyer, and we add this onto here. However, we do have many other ways of getting artifacts onto the battlefield. So going into the 1-drop slot, we have Spyglass Siren here, creates a map token for us. You can use the map token if you need to just create a little bit more, you can get a little bit more value out of it just because it is a map. You can make it, you can explore with it. In other words, you can just look at the top card of your library. You can either put a +1/+1 counter if it's a non-land card, but if it is land, you can just put it into your hand. Either way, it just creates risk value. Folder and Epicure here will then ping our opponent when it enters and also creates a blood token for us. Same thing, you can also use these tokens as targets for the Enso Artifact, but ideally, of course, you can use the blood token to then just help you dig through your deck to find more answers. As far as powering up the cards beyond Enso Artifact here, we have Ghost Fireblade here, and we have Shadow Spear. So Shadow Spear will give one of our creatures +1/+1 and trample and lifelink. We'll also have a secondary ability here where you can turn off your opponent's hexproof and indestructible abilities to make it a lot easier to get rid of them. With that, also, we have Gingerbrute here is another one of our cute little artifacts here. I love this card so much. It is hasty, and also with one, you can also make sure it's unblockable except against creatures with haste. You can also sacrifice it because it is technically a food to help you gain some life to stabilize. Going back to that Ghost Fire Blade for just a second here, it's an equipment that's for 1 and then equip for 3. It gives one of our creatures +2/+2. However, we ideally want to equip one of our artifact creatures because that means it'll only cost us 1 to equip, which makes it really solid for us and cheap early game threats. Now, going into the 2-drop slot, we have some very more powerful cards to help us close out the game. So besides that Enso artifact here, we also have one of my also all-time favorite cards, Shrapnel Blast. So by sacrificing an artifact, you get to deal 5 damage to any target, which is extremely awesome and a very quick and easy way to close out the game against any opponent. We're going to have a single copy here of Legion Extruder here, which does look a little interesting, but hear me out for a second here. So when it enters, you can deal 2 damage to any target, so basically an expensive shock. However, by tapping it and paying 2, you can sacrifice another artifact, such as maybe one of those tokens from our Spyglass Siren, Voldaren Epic here if you will, and then create a 3/3 Golem here, which can help us, again, just build up a slow but slowly growing army of tokens that can also do a lot of more extra damage against our opponent. We have a full set of Yotia Declares War here. I also love this card as well. In the first part of the saga, you create an Ornithopter. The second part of the saga, you can tap down a bunch of untapped artifacts you control to then deal damage to a creature or planeswalker you don't control. And then finally, for the third part here, once it gets sacked, it turns any one of your artifacts into a 4/4 creature, which is also a great way to do a lot of game quick damage against your opponent here. And then to give us a little bit of extra... Actually, sorry, we're going to jump from this one here. Smuggler's Copter is, again, a brand new card also for this set. Sorry, I forgot about this card for a second here. But also, this is a great card here. Now that this card has been unbound for quite a while in the Explorer/Pioneer format, this card has definitely got time to shine now. So, for crewing of 1, this artifact vehicle with flying becomes a 3/3 creature where if you attack or block with it, you can draw a card and you have to discard a card. So this helps us, again, dig through our whole deck to ensure that we can find what we need to on time. If we do need a little bit of protection, we have a touch of counter spells with Metallic Rebuke here. Since we all are in on artifacts here, the Improvise will allow us to then make this much more cheaper to make it a really effective spell to help us protect our game plan. Now, finishing this off, of course, we do have quite a few rare lands in the deck because, again, this is non-budget, and we are trying to be as competitive as possible this time around. We're going to be rocking, again, Island, some Mountains, Spider Bluff Canals, Steam Vents, Darksteel Citadels here, Fountain Port, which can give us a little bit of extra value, and Spire of Industry to help us flex all of our mana to what we need. Since, of course, we are running this deck as with a specific type of mana base and mana curve here, we can actually use Jingotha here as kind of like a, I guess you could say it's a free roll for the deck, so I threw it in there as well. As far as the sideboard, if you do want to take this in best of 3, and we will try this out a little bit later on, we're going to have Lithomeric Barrages here just to do a little extra damage here. It's more effective against blue and white control decks out there. Grafdigger's Cage is going to be our Graveyard Hate. Some Hope of Garapur here can just help us, again, if it does combat damage, can just turn off our opponent's non-creature spells for a turn, just to give us, again, a shot to just close out the game. Against enemy red or green decks out there, we have some Aether Gust here for some tempo plays to bounce something away. Roiling Vortex just as, again, as an anti-measure against life gain decks out there. Metallic Rebukes, some extra copies of that. And then finally, if we have to deal with a lot of removal in the deck, we have Urbrass Forge here just to kind of slowly build up some incremental damage against our opponent to close out the game. But otherwise, that's the whole game plan for you. So with that, is it possible to make this giant pile of artifacts completely help us rank up in Diamond rank to hopefully get to Mythic? Well, honestly don't know if we're going to be able to pull that off today, but we're going to try, everybody. So let's go ahead, let's pull this in. Let's have some fun in the Explorer format, and let's see how well this deck does. So again, I'm super duper hyped for this one, because again, this is a deck that I kind of sculpted a lot myself over ranked. So I kind of started with this deck at about early Platinum, and it's been actually doing very, very well despite everything I've thrown at it. So hopefully we'll get a chance to just play with this one and see how well it continues on in the higher ranks. Dense Planet, hey, maybe offbeat, but can you try my deck, please? I've sent it into Discord in the Explorer section, maybe not now, but later. This one I worked on for a day. Okay, don't worry. I will take the time to try to look at that when I can, and so let's see how that one works later on. Is it the Rooms deck that you were talking about a while ago? Was that the one that we talked about on Wednesday? Let me know. All right, so with that, we have a 1-lander, but we are a very low curve, so this doesn't hurt us all that much. We'll try to ping our opponent here. Okay. Down to 19. All right, opponent, what do you got? Show me what you got. Right. Besage you, Land of War Elves. So, okay. So, are we going to be dealing with a bunch of elves in a moment here? I don't know. Okay. Let's play Spyglass Siren because we didn't get another land drop, so that's a little awkward for us, but it is risky because I did keep a 1-lander. Hopefully that won't come back to bite us. Down to 18. So if we can get at least another land, we have an Enso artifact already waiting in the wings, so that'll definitely help us close out the game very quickly. Pull obviously will not swing. Gingerbrute here. Well, this is not quite where I want to be at, but so we're going to do it this way. We have to Spyglass Siren. So we'll sacrifice our map. Okay, a Metallic Rebuke might help us out? I don't know. Okay, so it is your it's your Esper room control deck. Okay, yeah, definitely I'll play with that one. Maybe if I have time after work today, I'll see if I can try to mess around with that. The two of one wives, is it? Do you exclusive play best of one? Honestly, I used to on stream, but we really need a land, by the way. Not anymore. So the way I do this now is the first half of my stream, I try to do best of one as much as I can. But to keep it fair, for the second half of the stream, we'll throw in some best of threes just to kind of get a feel for, because some decks are better or worse depending on what format or at least what styling you play. So good question on that one. We'll do a little bit of both. Collected Company. All right. So what are they cheesing in? Granted, of course, we did keep a one-lander, so I guess that is on me. All right, opponent. What you got? What do you got? What are you pulling in? They're taking their sweet time with this one, so... Anytime now, opponent. Also going to test out some new effects here. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so the Tumbleweed does work. Nice. Okay. Sorry. Also have some new little effects I'm going to try to pull on stream here, so... We'll see if we can have those have fun. And, of course, they take away our Skyclave Apparition because it does extra damage, but that's okay. We have Steam Vents, and we will throw in Insult Artifacts. I guess we'll just put it on here. So this does now threaten our opponent with some extra damage here. This will help us close out the game very quickly, because now they're down to 10. If we can prevent them from gaining life here, we do have 2 Shrapnel Blasts, which is actually really, really good for us. But we have to see if we can push through damage now. Come on, opponent. Anytime now. Then Splendid. The deck used to be a list of 60 card... Oh, jeez. Really? Wow. Of course, they have to have Skyclave Apparitions. Alright. Well, things are not looking too good right now, but it's not the end of the world just yet. So, with that, how do we do this here? Okay, so I think Yote has declared war. Okay. This is how we're going to do it. We will take out an Alan Warriors. Actually, I kind of did that wrong. I think I should have probably made that a 4/4 instead. So, wow, I misclicked there. Okay, so that might have cost me the game. We'll see. The deck used to be a list of 60 cards, but then I changed to Yorion Companion for a big 80. That does give you a little bit more wiggle room. Oh, okay, so opponent's gonna... Oh, they got their Angels. Alright. I think at this point we're gonna be cooked on this one, because there's not really much we can do to get around that, because we had enough for lethal, but I kind of fumbled a little bit here, so that was on my... Alright. We're just gonna cancel that one out. It's not that I don't want to play it, it's just... yeah. They already gave their Angels, so I'm not gonna be able to outpace them with damage. It's okay. We'll get them on the next one. Ouch. Yeah, I got wasted on that one. Okay. Actually, that's kind of cute, though. I kind of like these little effects that I have. So I added some new little effects that I'm going to try to mess around with throughout the streams. Hopefully it's not too obnoxious for you guys, but let me know if you like them. All right, we're going to try again. So I did kind of waste that one, but we'll try again. Stickman Jake, I didn't send the equipment deck yet. That's okay. Don't feel like you have to do it immediately. At some point, don't worry, I will try to take the time to look at some of your all decks. I like to play a little bit of everything, but sometimes honestly, I don't have enough time in the day to try to do all of them, but I appreciate all of you sending in decks, at least on the Discord. So for those of you that are unaware, don't forget that, again, you can always join us on Discord if you want to hang out there, share some fun deck lists. Doesn't have to be budget or anything. It can be whatever you want to play. And also you can meet some new fun friends there that also you can probably join playing with on Arena. But okay, going back to the match here. Okay, so here's how we'll do this. Steam Vents. Shock ourselves. Volder and Epic here. This is actually a really solid hand. This is what you want for the opening game. So, ping. And an Ornithopter. So, even if they get rid of the Ornithopter, we still have an option with the blood token here to Insult Artifact. Ooh, here we go. This is what you want right here, everybody. Alright, so Insult Artifact on the token here. We swing. There you go. All right, they're already down to 13. Woo! All right, now we're looking pretty good here. Best of 1 just feels kind of after playing best of 3 for a while. I mean, if I'm guessing that you're saying it probably feels a little meh, I can understand that. But, I mean, there are definitely some different dynamics to both. Okay, so our opponent did have a Terra Sunder, which is annoying, but that's okay. We still got time, everybody. Spire of Industry. We will play Ghost Fireblade. We will attach the Ghost Fireblade to the Ornithopter. And then I guess we'll play Shadow Spear, might as well. Go swing in here. They're down to 10. I do agree. Angels can be fun if you play with them, but very annoying if you play against them. Just because, again, no matter how much damage you do, they just keep coming back. They just keep coming back. All right, come on, opponent. What do you got? What do you got, opponent? They're thinking hard here. Okay. Terra Sunder, again. Wow, they actually got artifact hate for us. Okay. It's fine, though. It's fine, everybody. Legion Extruder. Ping him for 2. We will play Voldrin Epicure, so... Alright, our hand's completely empty here, but we got to try to force through damage. I don't know what they're trying to do here, but I just want to close out the game before it's too late. Let's see. Opponent? What do you got? And at the very least, a Legion Extruder can help us create some golems. So if we need to do that, it won't be too bad. I guess we'll sacrifice the Ornithopter. Alright. Got opponents. Sheldur's Edict. Alright. Our opponent's going to try to just control our board here, but that's okay. So, here's how we do this. I guess the Spire Bluff Canal can come in. And equip. Swing here. Down to 4. Okay. So, we're close. Very close, but our opponent has a very controlling hand here, which does have me concerned. Just a little bit. Gaia's Blessing. Oh, jeez. They're going to put those back in? Come on. Sometimes I feel like Arena does kind of mess with us a little bit here. I feel like it's a little bit of a conspiracy theory when it comes to them, I don't know, matching us up. Oh. Yeah. All right. We got there, everybody. We got there. Wow. I didn't think we actually would do that, but all right. Our opponent had no answers there. Feeling good. Feeling good there. Nice. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next one. Den Splinter. With the deck I made, I went from gold to platinum. Nice. Happy to hear that, man. At the very least, you got to, I think, a good spot where you want to be at. And I usually tell players all the time, if you want to at least get to a good spot, just that way you don't overdo it, make it to at least platinum. That's where you can get the most amount of the rewards from Arena at the end of a ladder season. And also, you'll get you both of the sleeve, the card variants. I think you get 1,000 gold and you'll get 3 packs. So that's pretty good. Anything beyond that, you're only just getting packs, which is kind of like a cheap reward for Arena, for trying to grind the ladder. So it's often than not, it's not worth it. So at least that's how I see it. Okay, so with that, we will play Island first. Yeah, sometimes it is a little rigged. It does feel very rigged at times. But even so, that's kind of why I know some people have argued that best of 3 is the better option, because you get a little bit more to work with. And it feels more fair versus this. All right, so with that, okay, opponents, what do you got? Playing mono black. Dual Call Heist. All right, so they gifted us a card, and they will now make us exile something. I'm guessing it's going to be the Legion Extruder, because that at least generates for us an engine piece. Yep. Okay, that's fine. We got Ginger Brute still. So how we do this is we'll crew. Ghost Fireblade. Swing here. Draw a card. Okay, we discard. It's tricky because I want to keep all these burn spells. That does help us out a bit here. So, I don't know. Okay. Down to 17. Pass. Okay, so if we can get another land, then we should be good with Shrapnel Blast to start just doing a ton of damage against our opponent here. We'll call Heist again. All right. Opponent's going to try to make us throw away cards here. That's annoying. That's okay. So with that, Let us... Oh, wait. Wait, why did I do that? Oh, I can't believe... Okay, wow. I'm really not paying attention here to what I'm doing. Okay, so that was a mistake once again. Okay, it's okay. We'll do it this way. I don't know why I did that, everybody. I'm not paying attention. Sorry. This is, again, why I'm not the best player in the world. Okay, so with that, it's okay. We could still definitely get some more damage in. Legion Extruder. So they ping us for 1. And are they going to use the Shrapnel Blast against us? That's pretty expensive. Yeah, they are. Wow. I mean, you can do that if you want to, opponent, but... Okay. Let's see. Can't give up just yet. So with that, Smuggler's Copter. Sneaky, sneaky. Okay, we'll draw. Okay, so I guess this time we should probably keep that Spire Bluff Canal. So we'll throw away Ornithopter. Discard. Down to 10. Spire Bluff Canal. Yotega declares war. Make another Ornithopter. And we pass. Okay, nice. We're looking pretty good right now. Let's see. Waste Not. Okay, so they are definitely a discard deck. They just did not get the Waste Not until now. Oh, come on. Really? Wow. That's very annoying. But it's fine, everybody. This is fine. We can still make it. They get to draw some cards. Okay, so we don't need to tap anything down, so we're not going to worry about that. Den Splinit. Caution, the deck is definitely on a slower side, but it can pop off. Also, how about this an idea for a video stream? Trying out viewer decks. I mean, we could definitely do that down the line a little bit. Maybe sometime in December when I can schedule everything in. I think I could probably do that. That actually would be kind of fun. You guys can submit stuff that you want to see tested out, and I will be more than happy to try it out to see how well they do. So yeah, we could definitely do that. Okay. I'll float that on Discord if you guys want to check that out. So this way, maybe if you guys have an idea for a deck that maybe you don't have all the rares and mythics for, I'll be more than happy to try it out because I kind of have a lot and I probably wasted more money than I should have on this game. Just an FYI. Okay. We will attach the Ghost Fireblade here. And then we will swing here. Draw a card, discard a card. Okay, so we have a Metallic Rebuke, so that's actually not too shabby. We'll keep that for sure. They get to add some lands, but that's okay. Down to 5. All right. Nice. Okay, so we're looking pretty good right here. Can we beat our opponent? Hopeless Nightmare. Do I just counterspell that? I guess I will. Do you pay opponents at all? Or do you let it get counterspelled? They do. I mean, that's not a big deal either way, because we would have lost that card no matter what. So, the only thing is we're shields down right now, so... Let's see. I don't know. Opponent's got 4 mana. We could be in realm right now of getting hit right here with something bad. Okay, so they make us draw some cards, just to ping us. Interesting. Okay. Thoughtseize. Alright, they draw a card. You hurt yourself down to 3, opponents. Alright, well, they're tapped out. I don't know if it was a good idea for our opponent to actually hit us like that. They got 3 lands still, and they have 1 card left. Did they have any removal? They do not. Wow, I don't know why they did that, but okay, I'll take that win. Yes, feeling good about that. Oh, yeah, get the air horns off there. Oh, yeah. All right, we're moving up. We're moving up. We're moving up. Okay. All right, we're getting our dailies done. As always, kids, make sure to finish your dailies. Get at least 4 wins a day, and you can get a pretty decent amount of rewards here. Although I sometimes wish the rewards were a little bit better. All right, so with that, let's go ahead. Let's going to keep continuing to rank up here. We're going to have some fun. Hopefully, we can maybe move up a little bit more here, because I'm actually feeling pretty good today. Also, again, shout out for all of you out there that are still watching, whether, again, watching live or on the replay. Let me know, again, what you would like to see coming up. I'm going to put out some polls over the next month or so, since finally we actually have a month where we're not adding new product. So that hopefully should give us some time to actually come up with some new fun ideas that maybe all of you want to see tryouts. I'll put out there, of course, a poll to see what you all want to see me build from Foundations for Standard. Maybe even we'll do maybe a couple of Brawl decks, because I am interested in seeing what we can do in Brawl. But until then, let's see. Okay, so we have plenty of ways right here to do some pretty aggro damage right here. Spire Bluff Canal. 1 Ornithopter. 2 Ornithopters. Okay. Then Splendid. Also have some ideas for other decks like a Chandra deck, but with Fractured Realm side of room for double abilities if it works. Okay. Okay, opponent is playing more discard. Okay, I don't know why we're playing a lot of discard today, but okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, Spyglass Siren. So, we will Insult Artifacts. Actually, hold on. How do we do this actually here? Okay. So, I think this is going to be a really awkward turn, but I'm going to do this on the Darksteel Citadel. And the reason why is you now have basically an indestructible 5/5. So our opponent really doesn't have a way to deal with that unless they have exiling effects. Or if they have maybe sacrifice effects. We'll see. Opponent, come on. What do you got? Show me what you got. Pilfer. Okay. So that means they will have to make us discard here. All right. Okay, so with that, Spyglass Siren. Make a map token. Swing with the Darksteel Citadel. Down to 15. Okay, that's not too bad, right? Right? Yeah. Alright, come on. Three lands. Menace with a Stalker Warlock. Alright. So we lost our key card there, but that's okay. Spyglass Siren. Come on, land. Not a land. A little annoyed there. That's okay. We swing here for 7. Do you block, opponents? Ooh, they do block. Okay. Down to 13. Dr. Bees, welcome, my new fiery friend. Thanks for joining us today. Have you considered a Heir Apparent deck for Foundations? Oh, I'm actually glad you brought that card up because I have been thinking of trying to find a way to do a whole series on each of the cards that now the Arena finally has one in every color of a card that allows you to have as many copies of it. So, you know, Mono Black, I guess, has Relentless Rats now. And then we have Heir Apparent for white. Slime Against Humanity, I think, is the other card for green. I know there's the Dragon Sorcery spell for red. That's not a very good one, but it is there. And Persistent Petitioners for blue. So I thought about doing a whole YouTube video series on those for something hilariously fun. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that one up. I definitely want to try out that card. We'll see how that goes, though, coming up. So that is coming down the pipeline. All right, make another map token. So we're going to keep swinging here. Even if our opponent has a Shieldred down, what's one of the sweet things about this is it's indestructible, so it's sooner or later, opponent, you're going to have to block. Do you take the damage? Do you take the damage? But yeah, we'll definitely talk about that more. We will definitely go over some of the meme cards that I've really wanted to play currently in Arena. And Splendid. Pilfer is like poor man's Thoughtseize. I mean, yeah. I mean, it works, though. It is effective, especially if you cannot afford Thoughtseize, because Thoughtseize is, even in paper, it's still expensive. Tiny Bones. Folks got a Tiny Bones in hand, and they got another Stalker Warlock. Okay. So unfortunately, we do lose our card there, which is, again, annoying. We're losing our removal, but that's fine. This is fine. No blocks. We can take the damage for now. Down to 12. Okay, so we finally got our next land, which is nice, but is that too little too late, though? Let us... How do we do this here? I guess we'll put on Spyglass Siren. So we got another land. I guess it's fine. So we're just going to keep aggro swinging here because we have to put pressure on our opponent here. We have to swing for lethal. So our opponent has to block here. You have to block, opponent. What do you got? Dr. B's also. Oh, nice. I have been making commander decks on those types of cards. Oh, yeah. I think that probably might be the best way to build those. We definitely will put a whole series together on hilariously fun meme cards like those for Brawl. Because I think that actually is ironically a fun, super cheap way you can put together a deck in Arena. This actually won't cost you anything, unlike paper, because the paper copies of those, since you can have as many copies as you want, are really, really expensive. I mean, you really kind of feel like you're going to get wrecked spending that. Let's just say, like, my wallet feels like it'll be dead if I try to get all of those copies just for, like, a meme deck. Okay, so for here, we have to block with our Ornithopters. We will lose both Ornithopters, but that's a small price to pay to keep our damage, because our opponent here is swinging hard. All right. Both Ornithopters are down. Do you have a blocker, opponent? You have to have something. There's no way you would have swung that aggressively without having something in hand. Anytime now, opponent. There we go. All right. So we lose our whole... Wow, there's a lot of discard decks right now in ranked. Or maybe it's just best of one. I don't know. What do you guys actually like? How many of... I want to know a show of hands out there for some of you out there. How many are playing mostly best of one or best of three? Oh. Our opponent gave up there. Honestly, I was like, opponent, you're swinging pretty hard there. You're going to lose. So, yeah. All right. Diamond 3 today, everybody. 2... What is it? No. Another set like this a couple more times, and hey, we might be able to make Mythic. How much more time do we have until the season's over, I realize? I should probably ask that. But yeah, are you guys all out there mostly best of one or best of three players? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from all of you. All right, so we got a little daily here. Let me check real quick. How much more time is left in the season? Oh, we have a whole week to go. Okay. 1 whole week left until this gets reset. Can we actually push ourselves to Mythic? It's been, I think I haven't hit Mythic in 4 years. It's been a long time. But yeah, I've also been playing on Arena since the very beginning. It's I've done it once. I did Mythic once during Cal time, but I haven't hit Mythic since. Although to be fair, I haven't been taking the game as seriously because even though I do content, I still have a big boy job. So that's also why I don't rank up as much. But with these streams, I've been able to do it a little bit faster, so it's been kind of fun. Dan Splendid, I actually made a rather simple but surprisingly strong Brawl deck. Mono white based on Donnie. The deck is basically 60 Heir Apparents and 39 Planes. Oh, that sounds hilarious. Does that actually work? I actually am curious, because I would love to know that. Okay, so our opponent is playing Karuga, so they're going to be trying to cheat stuff in pretty quickly here, but we're going to see if we can try to get underneath them quick. Okay, so we need a source of... Okay, that's great. Okay. Phew. Okay, we got what we needed there. Okay, so with that, let's play... Okay, how do we do this here? How do we do this? I think Smuggler's Copter next. Alright, so with that... But if they have this, that means that they shouldn't have any major removal. So I think the way I can do this is we put down Darksteel Citadel. If we can get a red card, we can Enso Artifact and start doing a bunch of damage here. Okay, we got the Steam Ends, which is also just as great. So with that, Spyglass Siren. It makes a map token. I'm guessing they have... Oh, Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, so that's fine. Let us turn on then Smuggler's Copter now before we lose it. Alright. They make the map token. We can... How do we do this here? I think Ghost Fireblade. Pump it. Map. Sorry, I need to think this all through real quick. Okay, so, Thinking. Keep the Metallic Rebuke. Big swing here. We'll draw for it. Throw away a Smuggler's Copter. Down to 14. Nice. Okay. So that did cost us quite a bit there to make it work, but it did work. Dr. Beast, tell me about it. Heir Apparent is like 5 deck. I'm mostly best of 1 for me. Okay. Stickman Jake. Now, our opponent had temporary lockdown. That's disgusting. Boo. Boo, opponents. No fun there. That's okay. We're going to make our comeback right now, everybody. Darksteel Citadel. I guess we'll just pass here. If they bring in Karuga or anything else big, we do have at least a Metallic Rebuke to save us for a bit. Stickman Jake, mostly best of 1, but I want to do best of 3 to be more competitive in Modern. Okay. Okay, so you play Modern also as well for other formats and everything? That's cool. I like to hear that. Dense Planet. I switch from time to time from best of 1 and best of 3. Do we... I guess we'll Metallic Rebuke this. Our opponent doesn't have an answer, so that does help us out a bit. Okay, and then what else do they play? They can't have anything else major. Okay, so we did get another End Soul artifact, which is great. So here's how we do this. We need to make sure we tap this down correctly here. So hit ourselves here on the Darksteel Citadel. Okay, got to do this very carefully. Mountain, mountain. End Soul artifact. Okay. Turns on. Okay, so it is now a creature land, which is nice. We can do some damage with this. Come on, opponent. Let me do this. Okay. Leyline Binding. Oh, okay. That's still annoying. Alright. So unfortunately we don't get anything with that. Okay, so we will... I guess we'll try it again later. So, put this on again. Okay. Leyline Binding is the bane of my existence. I actually have a copy myself in the game, but this is actually a very annoying card. Oh, we got the End Soul artifact back again. Okay. Well, even if they blow it up, it's still there. They can't kill our Darksteel Citadel, so they have to just blow up one artifact. I'm sorry, enchantment here. In Foundations, they should have printed Scrylands and Uncommon Thoughts. Oh, I definitely agree with that one. I definitely agree. By now, the Scrylands are completely overpowered by everything else out there. That honestly should have been, in my opinion, by this point, that should have been a, I'm sorry. Hold on. Yeah, it should have been, honestly, at this point, an uncommon. Minimum. I would even dare say it probably could actually be a common at this point. Something to think about. Our opponent right now, unfortunately, has the edge because the Titan of Industry can definitely start pushing through. And we don't have really a way of getting around this. They can swing. I mean, at the very least, we can still block for days. But honestly, I kind of had a little tier list of how I wanted to... I realized also, like, I probably should finish this. I do actually have a whole list of the best lands that you might want to put together. Scrylands, of course, are at the very bottom because you don't want to waste rares on those ones. Okay, our opponent is blowing up all of our strategy here because we are kind of fizzling here. Shadow Spear, a little too late on that one. Jengatha. Shadow Spear. But I don't know if that's enough now to stop our opponent here, who's definitely got a wider board than us. I'm never a fan of cheating anything into play. That's just never been my thing in this game. Maybe it's because I'm an old school player, so I'm always used to playing the fair way of Magic. So it's definitely not my thing. But I mean, some players play that way. Alright, so we can only sponge this one hit here because we're down to 2. Looks like our opponent has burn right now. Oh, they do. Never mind. Alright, and we lose that one. It's okay, everybody. It's okay. We still get to hold on to our rank for a little bit here, so we get to hold on to Diamond 3 for just a smidge. Okay, so moving on here. It's all good. We're just going to play through it. We're going to keep grinding as much as we can today. Alright. Shaking it off. Moving on to the next one. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so the Spider of Industries won't do anything until we get at least one artifact down, but we do have plenty of artifacts, so it's not too bad for us. We can do some early game damage with the Ginger Brute here. Ghost Fireblade comes in. Shadow Spear also would be nice too. Do some swings. Swing here. Opponent is playing a Yori on deck, so see what they're trying to blink back and forth. Smuggler's Copter. Ooh, that's not too bad either. Okay, Spire of Industry. Let us play Ghost Fireblade. Put the Ghost Fireblade on the Ginger Brute. Down to 16. Okay. Got some early game damage there. And Splendid. I mean, the only ones I know to go to are the Shocklands, Surveil Lands, and the Fast Lands. So, yeah, I will need to do this at some point. There is a list of them that I personally put together in terms of, like, what your best options are. But that's something I know I need to kind of finish quick. So I do have at least partially done a video, and I think maybe I'll do it maybe later this week if I have time. I do want to put up together a Thanksgiving/Turkey Day video, but also I do have another video in regards to, like, building lands. So there is a simple a simple video that I'm putting together that has the entire tier list of all the lands that I would recommend for you to start with. Shocklands, of course, being the #1, but of course, it helps you kind of figure out what you should be at in terms of building your thing. Shadow Spear. We will... Yotia declares war. We're going to go to #2. Okay, so with that, let us tap the Ghost Fireblade. Take out their elf. Turn on the Smuggler's Copter, turning down Golden Epicure. Alright. We will do some drawing. Okay, so we don't need the other lands. We'll leave draw. Down to 6. Alright. Alright, opponent, you're down to 6. You need life gain right now, or you need to blow up the whole board. Not that I want you to blow up the whole board, but yes. We are shields down right now, so can our opponent come up with an answer here with 4 mana? Well, it's a little scary, but we'll see. We can get around this. I believe in ourselves. Overload of the Hauntlets. Okay, that does make a land, but that's not enough. There we go, everybody. Yes. Woo! Feeling good about that one. We're up to Diamond Tier 3. Ranking up. Feeling good. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so with that, still getting our wins in. Can you believe it? I mean, usually when I play jank